What's up, guys? It's me, Spectrar here. 0.9 is finally live in Zero Falls, Wayward Turn Frontier. It's an interesting release. I wasn't around for the last release, which I guess leaves me lucky because I still haven't explored everything that release has to offer. But what feels weird about this one is even just their first paragraph here. These are the release notes, by the way, and this video is kind of for those of you who don't want to look through the release notes or want a little bit extra with the release notes, because I'll be showing a couple things here. But it says there is nothing broken in 0.9 which isn't worse in 0.8. So it no longer makes any sense to keep 0.9 on the unstable branch. I'm sure the added exposure of being on the live branch will reveal some things that nobody noticed before, but overall 0.9 is now much more stable than the previous version. As such, 0.9 is going to the live branch tomorrow morning, September 24th. That just feels like a it feels like they didn't really want to release it. Almost as if they've just heard so much complaining about there not being a release in forever that they're like, here, finally, just take this, I guess. It feels very spiteful. Maybe I'm reading into this too much, but it feels like, well, I guess we can release this now, or like, here, finally, you jerks who have been requesting a release for so long, here, finally, take it. I don't know. This statement puts me off a little bit. I don't really like it. Yeah, I don't like it. So this 0.9 feels weird to me, this release, but there are some good things coming. So first of all, the save system, asynchronous database, that may not mean a lot to most people, but essentially, like it says, it means the game's gonna be smoother, and when you crash, you're not going to be losing much of your data, if hardly at all. And the way that they're doing the saves, it makes it seem like in future releases and changes, saves might be able to be kept a little bit easier. And if nothing else, they mention at the end with the cloud saving that saves should be able to be transferable more, kind of a thing. It basically makes their being able to ingest a save into a different format a lot easier with the way it's being saved now, from what I can tell. Which I think is a good thing. I think it's about time the save system works well, because I feel like the crashes and, corrupted save things has been a problem for far too long. Next is there's now a resource system. Finally, mining and farming have a real purpose. Farming is still kind of an optional thing, but mining is much more important. But they can be used in tandem, because ships will now require resources for construction. Repairing now requires resources, and getting resources, and you can get resources from mining, piracy, or trade. So you still have the three options. You don't have to mine if you find that so monotonous you can't see straight. You could still pirate your way to get your resources or trade for them. Now, what it means by repairing now requires resources, I'm not 100% sure whether that just means repairing at your station, your home station, or if that also means like a repair drone, or I don't think the repair gun, from what I've seen, requires any kind of resources. It's something that's free repairing, but I'm interested to see what that means. But like I said, farming will now have a purpose, because you'll be able to farm these different resources. So what you can do is, when you're mining, you'll get certain things you can add to your genome to grow these specific resources. And then each ship is obviously going to require different resources, probably most likely just based on the different modules they have. The next thing is experience. You can now properly explore the mastery trees because your character gets XP for more things. Yeah, so I feel like the experience thing that they added, at least for me, wasn't being fully utilized because, again, experience was hard to come by, so I'm glad they're making a little change here. Endgame Dungeon. Now, I don't feel like I've gotten very far in this game, and I feel bad for my viewers who watch the Let's Play series for that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get better at that, trying to find a better system to show you further into the game of how I'm playing it. But what's cool is they now have this Gauntlet Final Challenge, which sounds really cool, and I'm excited to get to it. And you can enter it to try to defeat the final boss, which I'm assuming is just an insane ship to fight, which sounds like it'd be fun. It sounds like something that you can try over and over again, which is also cool. Overall damage model. This will be interesting, and I don't feel like I'll have much of an opinion on this until I play a whole bunch, but they've reworked structure and damage to make ships more survivable and remove the irritation of having to reach a structure requirement in the design. So again, I don't feel like I have much of an opinion on this, but if it makes the fact that it makes more ships more survivable makes me a little more happy, because I feel like some ships were just like paper. Like the boulder, I felt like should have been a lot tougher to kill in certain situations, and it felt like enemies' guns were just ripping right through it way too easily. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what that does to the game. New NPC behaviors. Traded NPCs receive a number of tweaks, and there are new mining NPCs, which will be defended if you choose to mess with them. So this is cool. NPCs are going to be feeling a little bit more lifelike, it seems like, which is cool. Again, I haven't gotten far into this game, gotten far enough in this, new update to have too much of an opinion, but it sounds like it's going to be really cool. I'm glad that there's new types of NPCs for the mining, and it just kind of feels like it'll be like your choices on how you interact with them will maybe have a little bit more of an impact with the fact that they will be defended, which will be cool. It'll be kind of fun to play around with, maybe attack one every once in a while, just kind of see what happens and have some fun with it. So I'm excited to see that. So new home station. So stations have kind of been changed in general. As you can see in this little short clip that they have included in the notes, it's showing that main commerce station that has all the different trade supplies in it. Basically the big large one has a little like subway system to get around better, and it seems like things have kind of changed that way. But all stations have kind of changed, and the home station, like it says, has changed a lot. If I hit return home, you can see the awesome new cloning animation that happens. I really love this. This makes it feel much more, I don't know, more 2D, 3D-esque, as if I really am kind of looking top down the way that capsule rotates. Anyways, so they kind of streamlined everything together. I'll be doing a video that kind of details the station a little bit more and the way you can traverse around. But they've added, it seems like everything's a lot more streamlined and in the way that you can get to everything, and it seems like the station has way more of a purpose and has way more utility for you in the way that you can now offload and onload cargo. The way the docking bay area has changed. Like if I just go into here, this used to be where you would dock and everything. Now it's all down here, and there's a whole bunch of these logistics centers down here, and there's like 6 docking ports down here that you can get to, and you can, and again, I'll be doing a video about this, have this access terminal that allows you to go, all over the place. So down to this space, or this center I was telling you about before, over to the mining area. But you have all these cargo bays now, and as you play, obviously more of this will be revealed, and show you how to use more of it. But it's kind of exciting the way the station has been changed up and feels a lot more useful. Even though I haven't had a chance to use it a lot, I can already feel that it's going to be way more useful. Okay, new crew members. There are now new recruitable crew members, and they have interesting auras that do different things. So that's nice. It feels like, even with my limited exposure, that NPCs has stayed very stale and the same for a long time. So this is exciting. I think the crew members are a cool aspect of the game, and it's nice that they're showing more of it. Now this is a cool new edition. Sensors, clouds, and vision. Sensors seem to have more of a purpose now. You can hide from enemy ships in a cloud, and having better sensors will make a difference in combat. So as you can see in this little short clip that they've provided, this ship obviously has the better sensors and is firing on this ship without being attacked back, because it seems like that this ship can't see it very well. At least it looks like it's not attacking back. Maybe you guys can tell me different. Or maybe it's, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's attacking back very well, if at all. Maybe a little bit there at the beginning. But it's cool that the atmosphere and that you're fighting can now have an effect on the fight. If you've watched me before, you know I like to dance around boulders during combat sometimes to help use the environment to help me fight. So this is a cool new thing that we can employ to get an edge in combat against these larger ships that otherwise might be impossible to take down with the ship that you're currently running in. So this is a cool way to gain advantage on these larger ships and kind of turn the tides of a battle. Communication with NPCs. Now this is really cool. I'm actually really excited about this. I had no idea this was coming. You can see here how this little text right here pops up of this guy saying, "Oh no, my beautiful ship." So while you're in combat, you'll be able to see the communication of NPCs. So let me just read it. You can see NPC ships chatting with each other, and if you like, you can hail them and talk to them yourself. You will now need to hail repair stations in order to repair them. So there's this cool new communication that can happen between you and the enemy and other, allied type stations that just wasn't there before. That's going to make this feel a lot more dynamic and real. And the cool thing that I really like is in the beginning tutorial, as you're flying around, you shoot some turrets. I noticed some of the communication was like, "Oh no, the hole has been breached," kind of a thing, which I'm hopefully showing you on screen right now. And I think that's really cool because it's going to give you some indicators while you're fighting as to what kind of damage you're doing, to help you determine whether you're maybe shooting in the right place, as to what kind of damage you might be doing to the ship, which I think is going to be really cool for strategizing how you're fighting a ship and where you're aiming. I think it's going to give you so much better insight into what kind of damage you're doing and how fatal the damage you're doing is. So I'm actually really excited about that, and hopefully it's as cool as I'm thinking it is, and it's not just super lame once I get into it, because that would really suck. But I'm excited to see more of what this can do. Modding. So they've made some big improvements to modding that essentially makes it better. Stupid phone. I don't know if you can hear that vibrating. I haven't looked much at the modding community. If you guys have suggestions for mods that you think I should try in this game, I am all about it. I've already in the planning stage of kind of trying to do a series where I review community ships on that community workshop page where people have submitted ships that they have, and maybe creating a space where you guys can submit ships to me to review or test out or something like that, and have some kind of weird, goofy, I don't know, maybe ranking system with different categories to kind of rank the ships in my mind. But if you have mods that you know of that I could maybe do something like that, similar to that with, I'd love to know about it, because this is those aspect of the game I have not looked at all. So I mentioned cloud saves earlier with the saves. They have cloud saves with Steam. They don't seem to have a lot of testing input into it and would love feedback with any issues, but they can't see any problem going with it. And with the way they're doing saves now, I can't imagine there's going to be a ton of issues with that, just based on the fact that it's now, like they said, database files, which I think is a huge step forward for the saves, which is awesome. So if you use that, awesome, you now have this working better for you. And it seems like they say here, overall just stability and bug fixes. They list some of the stuff right here, some underlining issues with quests and NPCs that have messed with saves or reloads, and just overall more stable. And that's really kind of it. And the sad part is that when you look at this as a whole, for how long it took to get to this point, and this isn't meant to be a huge dig to the dev team or anything like that. It feels very underwhelming, which brings me back to this beginning statement that just starts the whole underwhelming aspect. The biggest thing is the new resource system, which is big. It just doesn't feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel as big as and impactful as previous releases have to me in the past. Though I still think this is a cool update. I feel like they could have, I don't know. It could all just come down to this wording statement that's kind of underwhelmed me. But there are some cool things to explore in this new update that kind of change things and make things more useful with the resource system and mining. And some quality of life things. And the new kind of exploration of how the stations and NPCs are going to make this place feel a little bit more useful and alive. So hopefully this, I feel like this might be if you haven't played in a while, might be a fun reason to get back into it and at least try it again. Those of you who have been playing around in the beta for this for a long time already know and have your opinion on this. And honestly, I don't know why you're watching this video if you have. But if you are, you can maybe give feedback in the comments of what you think of this update and how it holds up to maybe previous ones. But it seems like a fun time to get into this game. With how long the wait has been for this update, I don't know how long it'll be till they hit 1.0. So that might deter you from getting into this game now. But I hope you found this informative. There'll be more videos to come. First off will be about the home station, and hopefully more and more tutorials and stuff for this this content that has come out in this update. It unfortunately came out at a really rough time as I've been super busy. But I will do my best to try to get stuff out in a at least somewhat timely manner, and I hope you'll have patience with me about that. But if you have something in particular you would love to see sooner than others, please let me know, and I will try my best to prioritize that over other features in the game, so that way I'm getting content out to you guys that you want. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. See ya.